Well, it seems like it has been a long, long time since we've seen a packed house up here at USC. In fact, 6 months of off-season. I'm so glad it's over. Will McCloy alongside Stacey Francis-Bain. Kira Tromp is running the sidelines, and we are looking forward to a big, big one. These two teams have a lot of history together and always deliver up extremely interesting battles. The Woolworth team cards, the Lightning lineup, of course, the Diamonds at the top end, a couple of new faces on the bench, and the big name there, and we talked about it in the pre-game, is Carla Pretorius, who comes back to hopefully steady this ship, Stacey.
Absolutely, and she just seems so cool, calm and collected in the warm-up. I forgot what a bit of a cool character she is, actually. Her ability to just turn over ball seems like she does it with the flick of a switch, and I'm excited to see some more of that today.
She's been part of a team who has always seems to have a great vibe around the team up here at the Sunshine Coast, and the Giants, as another young team, certainly have the same, and when they introduce newer players like a Tilly McDonald or Matisse Leatherbarrow or Sophie Dwyer, they seem so settled when they come in, and I think maybe that's just the vibe that Julie Fitzgerald creates to make these youngsters feel so comfortable.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They've obviously got a fantastic system and pathway building in there to the Giants to be able to lose a Joe Harton, but to have a Matisse Leatherbarrow who's willing to just step up and step on the court like, you know, she's been there her whole life is incredible.
Speaking of stepping up, it is time to get this one underway, and Price, the captain, with the feed, and immediately Katie Ann Dehaney gets her hands in, gets the turnover ball. So a good start for the home side here at UniSC Arena. Pretorius gets a touch. McDonald in the wing defence bid. We thought she'd go up against Jamie Lee Price in the centre, but wasn't to be. Miller, the youngster, in the pocket. Back and forth between Sherian and Wood. How often have we seen that?
Some real trademark moves already there from the Lightning. Cara Cronin exiting the circle early, which is very much her style. We don't usually see it from a goal shooter, but it really works for Lightning, and it definitely works for her.
A goal and a centre pass, and straight to circle edge they go. Just out of McDonald's reach, and both shooters picking up an early goal for the home team.
Oh, coach killer there. Bit of an unforced error.
Still very early doors, but they're just painful little momentum stoppers after getting yourself up for the start of the game. Sherian.
Some great movement there in the circle by the two shooters, causing a bit of confusion for April and Tilly.
In the end, Cronin steps off for the rebound and picks up a third and possession. Top of the circle, the captain. Stretching out Cherry, who gives away a good 6 inches on her opponent in Price. And again, short from Cronin, and this time she doesn't get it back straight away. The retained possession, though.
Excellent hustle from both shooters there, and excellent tip by April, although umpire won't play that. Cara knew she was going to miss the shot, went straight up for the rebound and the follow, but Steph Wood was there as well.
Nice settler for Wood when she feels comfortable. She's capable of multiple Suncorp super shots.
Lightning will really, Giants will really be looking to try and just settle, get a score on the board here.
And that is the first. Finally off the mark, and a fast start for the Sunshine Coast Lightning. Kira Tromp is down on the sidelines. How are you seeing the opening exchanges, Kira?
Well, Will, I'm here alongside the Giants sideline, and there's a bit of disappointment in the face of Julie Fitzgerald. Just in that circle, she looks to be, you know, as we discussed, wanting her defenders to get up. Another easy ball going in there. They've missed 3 rebounds to start this quarter, so that's an area where they can improve immediately.
How quickly games can get away from you. Happened to the Swifts yesterday in the opening game of the season. Gave away 7, and that's a nice little interplay. As Sligo, the key piece in that puzzle. Leatherbarrow finishing. Cronin again out Looking up court, and again, Brownlee with a hand on one.
Smart work there. You don't really want to let Steph just hang outside of the circle and pull the strings, which is what she likes to do. She's happy to have
Rice turnover.
Incredible turnover there by JLP. Yeah, Steph really does like to work the ball around, to have it in her hand, to be in control, and so to just let her do that feeds into her confidence.
Crucial intercept there in the context of the opening quarter, and it was the new captain who does it, Dwyer. And when we talk about the Giants coming in and being so cool under pressure so young, the person I think of the most quickly is Sophie Dwyer. As you see the Harvey Norman replay of Price taking that intercept, making it look way easier than what it is. But Dwyer seems like an old hand already, and Letha Barrow is another one treading that path.
Yeah, absolutely. Sophie is only 21 years old and, you know, got her opportunity as a result of Kira moving over to the Vixens. But she, again, similar to Matisse, is just able to slot in like she's been waiting for this her whole life. Her whole life being only 21 years.
Making me feel like I've got cobwebs on me.
Same. Oh, my gosh.
How about that Kira Austin clutch long ranger yesterday to
ice in her
keep it in
veins.
it.
That's exactly what you want from a shooter, especially who wasn't having the most accurate of games as well. To be able to do that in a clutch moment.
You can't teach that.
No one taught me.
No one has ever taught me that either. 6-3, already 5 gone.
I reckon Simone McInnes might have something to say about that.
The Lightning pushing up in defence, trying to make the Giants pushing up, making the Lightning work for this one, and they reset again. Again, Woodrum, well, thinks about it.
Yeah, Giants really need to keep their heads up for that. So there's a couple of easy ways that you can win ball from them in the circle. Defensively, you need to be up and on there for the rebounds, but also looking for that shoot-to-shoot ball between Wood and Conan.
That'll help Katie Ann Dahney's confidence too. We'll go back down to Kira, already 6 gone, and it's starting to get a little more tense out there.
Another thing, Will, that will make Belinda Reynolds happy, that the Lightning have had their penalty rate only at 2 penalties for this whole quarter compared to the Giants, who are currently sitting on 9 penalties. So that'll make Belinda Reynolds happy. They're being very disciplined in that area of the court.
Kira, I've got a quick question. I feel like this is a debate that everybody has around penalties. Do you want to be super clean? What's the balance of being super clean and in the contest and slowing your opposition
Well,
down?
I think for me, Stacey, Belinda's asked her players to be in the first ball contest, and they're able to do that currently without giving away those penalties, which I think is so impressive. Katie Ann, as we see a mistake there by Annie Miller, they're able to be in the contest, so they're coming off the body and reading the play rather than taking the body out on the way through late.
So the answer is that you want to be in the contest, but also clean.
Yeah.
So we've cleared that up.
Yeah, be good.
Do everything, but don't give away any penalties. Price and on the drive, Dwyer, and again, Dahaney has the wingspan of a 747.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that's what's given Matisse the biggest challenge at the moment. She's not able just to really grip the ball in and take it clean.
Hands defender.
Giants very happy to continually shoot from range. Plenty of other teams who look for another option in that position, but the Giants have always been a team who pride themselves on being able to shoot from anywhere, and that might come into play in 2.5 minutes' time. Again, we see it, and again, Dwyer with the results, a 5.
Absolutely that, and I think it also gives your opposition less chance to win the ball. If the ball's just going to go into the circle and the shooters are going to put it up, and if you're a Giant shooter, it's probably going in, then, you know, there's less room for error in your game.
Less chance for Dahaney to release the wings. The other end, though, and here's the Harvey Norman replay. Conan, just such a strong target these days, and during that replay, ball too hot for Sliger's hands and out of play, out of court. And that will hurt if they can make it work down the other end. The home team, Pretorius, waits and watches, forced to go back as the Giants' defence seems to have increased the hustle.
like Amy Parmenter athleticism going on there on the circle edge.
From the Giants timeout.
Find offside, wing! Find offside, centre!
Too long from Wood and runs into McDonald's hip and shoulder.
Just in the one, lady. Take a step, goalkeeper, take a step.
Nice little settler of a start for Belinda Reynolds, who said in the pre-show how nervous she was, and why wouldn't you be when you've been aiming towards something for such a long period? And there's the collision between McDonald and the Diamonds vice-captain as the timeout comes, and its current score 10-5 in favour of the Lightning.
Down this end of the court, everything is cross-court, right? We need to do the pre-league so we can have the ball coming in straight line as possible down the court. And we work at the circle edge, and then we get it in, and we want the ball. We demand the ball. We come out and take the ball, all right? Just got to stop the cross-court. We've got to try and work it so we take it down there in a straight line. 3 leagues before we move, all right? Did you hear me say we get them on our back, we leave them on our back, so we test the ball, all right?
We're waiting for someone to go and beat the ball. And we go, then we can go.
That little base step wants it up the top, right? Step will work the curve and she'll work straight. Let's go. That's it.
Here we go. Giants on 3, 1, 2, 3, Giants. Here we go.
The HCF tactical timeout, plenty to discuss.
Yep.
And I can see that Kira has been, she's almost half out of her seat. She's so keen to say something. What's up, Kira?
Well, I've been down in the Lightning huddle there, Will and Stacey, and Belinda Reynolds was really pleased with her team, the discipline that they were showing. For the next few minutes, she's asked for 2-point shots. So we'll see Steph and Kara going for the 2-point shots. Defensively, she wants no second shots. So Kara, oh, great take there by Steph under the post. And they'll be looking to make sure they finish off with that shot in.
Harvey Norman replay, great little baseline drive from Steph Wood. And nice way to start after getting the instructions from the coach. 11-5, ticking down to the power 5 in just 30 seconds time. Sliger goes back.
It was mentioned by Akira in the pre-game, actually, the coachability of the Giants. So Julie was talking to them about working the ball to the circle edge and trying to limit the cross-court feeds that they were sending in because it wasn't successful. And instantly we've seen that change. Giants are shortening it up, they're playing their squares and straights, and they work to real patient, slow goal. A slow ball to the circle edge and an easy goal under the post.
That hooter is for the power 5, so the Suncorp super shot is in effect, and Parmenter goes into the crowd and keeps the ball in. What agility.
Julie Fitz will be very pleased with that. She said she wanted them in the contest, and there's no better example of being in the contest.
Price lets it go. First super shot attempt, and it is good.
I suspect we're going to see lots more of those.
That is superb from Amy Parmenter, and to be rewarded down the other end with a Suncorp super shot and the centre pass as well. And can they go back-to-back this time? Leatherbarrow. That is super cool under pressure with Katie Ann Dehaney bouncing around in front of you.
And
suddenly, 11-10. $200 as well, thanks to Suncorp, as principal partner of Netball Australia, donates $100 for every Suncorp super shot scored across the season to the Confident Girls Foundation. There were, how many super shots do you think there were in 2022 total?
Oh, okay.
Putting on the spot here.
55.
551.
Oh my God. You really set me up a treat there.
Yeah, I mean, I really thought you'd be somewhere in the vicinity.
I'm a defender, so in my head, there weren't very many.
Not look down the other end. $55,100 from Suncorp going to Confident Girls Foundation with $200 already this month.
There were more than 55 for such a great cause.
Slightly more than 55. My goodness. 12-11 is the score, and Wood has the chance. And Price goes up and keeps it in. Well, well, well. First Parmenter, now Price.
I'm just going to throw it out there and say that I feel like Giants have the best defence, some of the best defensive mid-quarters in the league. Their ability to just contest ball and win it cleanly between a Parmenter and a Price is phenomenal.
Look at this. Take notes if you play netball. It is 12 apiece. So, up to a 6-goal deficit evaporated in the blink of an eye in the first half of the Power 5.
Just inside. Just in. Yes. Yep.
Smart choice there just to offload, get a score on the board under the pressure of Katie Ann on the shot.
And the Giants are in the lead. And the crowd has disappeared from this one. It is pin drop time here at UniSC Arena. Oh, now we hear them. They're back. It's 14-13. Another $100 to the Confident Girls Foundation, and Price throws it out of court.
And it's interesting you should say that, because that is almost part of the game. As an away team, when you travel, it can be really difficult in SSN, and your whole purpose when you're out there is to quieten the away team, because the crowd, because when they're loud and vibrant and up and about and supporting their team, it is like having that 8th player. The team say it all the time, and so to be playing at home and just be able to hear a pin drop is really disconcerting, and it adds to that feeling of pressure.
Another turnover in the forward third from the Lightning, and a long ball from Branley, and the two attackers fight over it. But you're right, they will eventually move from the UniSC Arena as a new 6,000-seat stadium gets built for the Brisbane Olympics in 2032, but we've got a good couple of years before it's built. And I don't see any reason to move from here. It's a tough place to win, although the Giants, and that one will be too long. Dehaney with the rebounds. They're doing a good job of it, especially in the last few minutes. Miller and Conan as they look for Wood to shoot from range. And again, another miss. You'll get another go, though.
Another missed rebound as well there by the Giants defenders. Transition defense just far too slow.
Quick hands from Sherian and Wood to dish off to Conan. And that's a trio that have been spending plenty of time playing together over previous seasons.
Absolutely.
And you can see it.
Lightning at their best have the ability just to let the ball go. They don't wait too long to set penalties, which makes it harder for your transition defence to set up. And we're seeing some of their best now in the latter half of this quarter.
It looks like the Lightning might end up with maybe the last opportunity to score here. So that lead, which was 6, then went to nothing. The Giants snuck their noses in front. Could go back out to 4 or perhaps 5, but it doesn't.
Excellent team defence there, and really great awareness from Tilly McDonald, who's wanting the ball to come back to her so she can take the penalty, and potentially they can finish with, I mean, a 2 would be nice, but a goal would be
5
enough.
seconds. They need to do it now if they're going to do it. And the ball goes up, and it's going to be Dwyer on the buzzer, and it's short, and it's 16-13 at the end of the opening quarter. Plenty of seesawing action, and it is great to have Super Netball back here at UniSC Arena. We'll take a break on Fox Netball, and the action will keep on coming.
To the quarter time break, thanks to Origin Energy, where I found myself in the Giants huddle listening to the 25-season veteran Julie Fitzgerald talking to her team about what they need to do for this second quarter. Very calm and relaxed, no stress on the signs of the faces of any of the Giants players. So I would expect a big improvement if they want to make up this 3-goal difference. Cross back to Stacey, who was listening in on the huddle for Belinda Reynolds and the Lightning team.
Thanks so much, Kira. Again, Belinda was very happy with the troops. She wants them to make sure, though, at the centre pass that they've just got one over the line. which gives them a bit better second and third phase moving towards goal. But also not to be afraid if they're in the same spot as another attacker, just to let that little rubbish ball go, just to build momentum. Equally, when the Giants defenders go wide, which is what we saw them doing earlier in the game, which was resulting in that swinging cross-court ball, she'd like them to stay there. So keep the Giants wide, which plays into their ability to come out and to win clean intercepts.
Excellent wrap-up, team. Good to get that insight into what happened at quarter time, thanks to Origin Energy, and we'll see whether those changes are in effect as cross-court goes Pretorius.
Oh, I'd have liked a replay ball there as a former defender.
We're in contact outside, top of the circle. Yes.
The bias never leaves you, no matter how long retired you are. I know you've only been retired for a matter of months, but you could be here at 65 years of age and go, well, that was a replay because I'm a defender.
And it was also something coming in that I decided I was going to be this super neutral player. No, you know, not team attack, not team
Didn't
defence.
last long, did it?
Well, quite, very much so. Never mind.
Offside wing.
Can't undo that many years of programming.
To be fair, a replay ball's a replay ball. It doesn't matter who does it.
You're doing it now. Eventually, the Lightning find a way in, and it is through Conan, and we're back to 4 goals. A minute gone. Katie-Ann Dehaney actually leading all comers in net points at the moment, 35.5, and she has had quite the impact on this game. So we talked about her being a confidence player. She's set up alongside Carla Pretorius, feeding off the calm energy that comes from the veteran South African.
I think what's brilliant about her as well is obviously she's a tall defender. Excellent first ball contest there by Pretorius. Yeah, she's a brilliant defender and she's got that height and range, but she doesn't just rely on that. She is great on her footwork. She's working at angles and she's constantly trying to position and move Matisse into an unfavourable spot.
Really impressed with the calm shown by the young shooting circle from the Giants, who are repeatedly shooting from mid to long range and doing it without too much of a sweat at the moment. 7 of 8, Leila Barrow, 5 from 5, Dwyer. And they haven't been easy shots either. Conan 10 of 12, Wood 6 from 8. As they cross the circle, look for a way in, and there is Pretorius doing Pretorius things. Circle edge, the captain, JLP, back and forth. Leila Barrow ignoring a ridiculous vertical jump.
Honestly, excellent pressure on the shot, followed by an even more excellent shot.
Miller, middle channel, looking back.
We're in contact.
Give little hand from Parmenter. Not letting Sherian get away with anything.
Just a little bit passive for me there in the circle, though, by the Giants. They had a dead ball situation where they're able to get back on top of play, and they were just standing and let Steph Wood come through for an easy front ball.
Wood leading the Nissan net points currently out on court. And the Lightning at 4 goals clear with the lion's share of points. This one short though, can't keep shooting from long range forever. Leila Cassidy and Wood, and then back to Wood again.
Again, Lightning with that ferocious transition through court there.
We were talking about the Giants' attack just before, and obviously they left one short as Sherian takes at the other end of the court. Kira, you've got something to add in that respect?
Yeah, look, just for me, Will, I'm noticing that the centre court players, wing attack, goal attack, Sophie and Amy Sligo, they're just not getting out on that forward ball for Jamie Lee on the centre pass. 9 of the centre pass receives have gone through the back line for the Giants. So they just need some more punch off the centre pass. We'll see here on screen as it comes to the centre pass, not much prelim work. Just a lot of dancing and just not enough connection there with Jamie Lee. I'd love to see a lot more preparation done.
I think you're absolutely right, Kira, and that plays into a historical strength of the Lightning, who are good at jumping the wall. And I think the wall isn't necessarily being tested. It's effective right now, because like you said, the ball's going backwards, but not one of the attackers is trying to take it on and break it down and go through it.
Trying to lob it over the top of Dehaney is an interesting play. Ball out in the end. And a turnover again. So good defensive pressure from the Lightning, forcing a couple of 50-50 balls, and the second one did not come off. Penetration down court now as they set up through Cassidy on the transverse line.
A real nice mix-up there in the Lightning circle. So power of work by Steph Wood, who great rebound. Lovely little layup.
Great work from Cara Conan and showing the Giants how to rebound effectively. And that with the Harvey Norman replay, look at that. Sometimes you get lulled into a false sense of security by how easy they make these plays look, and they aren't anything but. The HCF timeout coming, and why not? Julie Fitzgerald has seen a blowout to 7 goals.
Or you feel they're not in the play, we have to be on our own, all right? We can't just let them creep back and give them a free player so they can then feed it in, all right? I don't mind you having a crack. That was a good one, the last one. No, I thought that was a good one. But you're way too far off your own now. We have to close that space down and make sure that we're well and truly on our own, all right? Down here again, it is cross the court all the way down in this third. We have to do the work first so that shortens up and we can keep the ball on one side. We're going from side to side all the way down here. You can have one, but you can't keep going crisscross down there. So do the work so we can be in a straight line, all right?
I think we just need to use our smarts a little bit more, so we fake them. They'll go, and then we got a free player. We just need to not give it on the first second. We want to give it away straight away, but we can't do that on these players.
And I think too on penalties and things, you might be starting a bit too close to the ball. Get yourself some depth, and it's only when there's a stoppage that go down a little bit of depth, and then you can come back in, okay?
Guys, lift your intensity, and that's with our brains as well. Yeah, the 1%ers count. Here we go.
Here we go. Giants on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Joe, let's go. Guys, get in front of her, protect strong in front of the
Down the end with Belinda Reynolds, coach of the Lightning, was very impressed with her team. I expect now she's asked her team to shut it down, so lots of discipline, passing and getting to circle edge before going in. They've got the lead here now up at 7, and I think they'll want to hold this lead into half-time. Back to you, Stacey and Will.
Thanks so much, Kira. I think a little bit of frustration there from Judy Fitz in that timeout. I spoke previously about the coachability of the Giants, their ability to take on board what she told them to do previously, but there's a bit of gold fishing going on. I feel like as a player sometimes you're told to do one thing and you do it. As soon as you get given another instruction, that first thing may well have just fallen out of the brain, and I think that's what's happened here with the cross-court starting to creep in for Giants again, but also reiterating that need to go back to man-to-man. Lightning shouldn't be allowed to have so much freedom and be able to let the ball go as they have been.
I can subscribe to the one instruction at a time rule. They concentrate on one thing as Dehaney flies again. And they've really got to make these passes pinpoint at the moment. And that's a nice little settler, both for Lillebarrow and for the Giants, who are now at 7-3 in this quarter. And the transition work from the Lightning is so smooth in comparison.
Yeah, absolutely, which is exactly what Julie was talking about. She wants the players to be man on man, and she said it 4, 5, 6 times. So hopefully that's a message that has sunk in from that quarter break.
Eight goals now, biggest deficit of this match so far. Another one coming up straight after this as Super Netball takes over Fox Sports for the next 4 months or so. Wow, using up all her time.
Absolutely cracking shot there by Sophie, even with a step back over the praying mantis that is Katie Dehaney.
Miller just holds on to it back and forth, and Parmenter is really making a pest of herself out there.
You're absolutely right, but potentially not the Amy Parmenter that we're used to seeing in previous games. She often sits incredibly highly in terms of miss and net points because of her ability to win over clean ball, but Miller is, I think, winning that battle at this point.
Well, she sits on -8 miss and net points, Parmenter, which is the least out of anyone on either side. Dwyer, the a bullet to Sligo. And Dehaney again.
See, that's frustrating for me because I was going to say something previously. I feel like the Giants are trying to feed a flat ball, which is just outrageous based on the fact that you've got such a tall defender in there. But so well rewarded there with the goal. Yeah, chest pass, flat ball into the circle. As you can see there from the Harvey Norman replay, Katie will just eat those alive.
Having an absolute barnstormer of a game. Katie Ann Dehaney, the Sunshine Girl, 192 centimetres, but right now she feels 200. 27-17. Important possession, as they all are now, for the visitors. Pass into the pocket for Sligo, and she looks, and then her immediate instinct after that is to go back again, and this time it's Pretorius who picks up the scraps and hits Price.
I really enjoy a little bit of physicality there between Price and Pretorius.
It's safe here with a desk between us and them, isn't it?
I was deciding whether to insert myself into that moment or not.
Well, last year, Shamira Sterling ended up on the table next to myself and Maddie Brown, and in the moment on the replay, it looks as though I pushed Maddie in front of me to save myself, but that is just the angle of the camera as we have another HCF timeout. 28-17. We're nearing super shot time, and the Giants will be needing to hit some if they're going to stay in this one at UniSC Arena.
Katie, great job at getting around front. Really good job. Continue to do that in the 2-point. Don't sink into the one. Stay front. Someone can run at their shot, jump it, other one field to the rebounder. It's better for them to get a 1 than a 2.
Exactly what we get.
On this 2-point period, a pest on the edge. Don't relax, because the minute that we just watch ball, they scoop around the top, especially Jamie Lee. Yep. So let's keep them away from the top as well. Yes. Let's start at 2. Start with a 2 and then go back to your 1-on-1. And tempo. Like, we don't need the play to go fast here. We want to have tempo and control. Be on the line. We want control and tempo. We don't want this period to go fast netball. That's right now. But if it's on, get your hips around and play organically. Let's go. Let's go, girls. Let's do it. 1 or 2. 1, 2, 1 in.
Clear instruction there from the new head coach. What did you take from that one?
Yeah, I think it was a really excellent choice of using the tactical timeout there. It's proactive as they're going into the super shot period, so she's given them license to put up the 2s, and also they want to keep the Giants feeders in the pocket. So where Giants were caught out a few times, isolating Sophie Dwyer with the ball in the middle of the circle, and the 2 feeders were wide and she couldn't let that go. So more of the same.
What about you, Kira? What did you hear down the orange end of town?
You know what, looking at the scoreboard, you would expect to see stress and a bit of worry on the faces of the Giants, but they are cool and calm, and it looks to me as though they've got a plan. They talked about the tempo. They want to come off the body. They feel like they're getting contact calls. They want to get rid of that body and try and get free for the ball. For mine, Jamie Lee Price is putting in a power of work in centre. She needs some players around her to pick up their intensity for this last 5 minutes.
Yeah, you're absolutely right there, Kira. They highlighted Jamie Lee previously as being the main feeder. She's also one of the main ball winners for the team as well, so you'd expect a little bit more work to be distributed across the whole team.
There she is with the ball in hand, down to the pocket as they look for a way, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing some shots from the white stripe here. Wants the reposition and gets it on the edge of super shot territory. That's going to be short, very short, straight out of the hand. Almost looked like she second-guessed herself there. The net points tell the story, don't they? 10 goals, but nearly 3 times the amount of missing net points, and I did bottom level maths. I'm not exactly right there, but it's a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if now's the time to tell everybody, but I didn't actually get my maths GCSE, so...
We're useless then.
Yeah, fingers crossed Mum's not watching.
Well, after your super shot guess, I think we've basically abandoned all hope. Wood dishes off. They've got the buffer and the ability not to have to worry about that when you've got Cara Conan. Under the post. Don't worry about the super shot. Centre pass receive as well. 11 goals, looking for 12. Sherry at circle edge.
Yes.
Again, Giants caught napping a bit in the circle there, although there was a penalty. You are in the super shot period, so being mindful that Steph Wood was just on the wood and she was going to step out and try and put herself in a more favourable position.
Dwyer throws it with venom back to McDonald. A bit of frustration. And when you've scored 5 goals in an entire quarter so far, you can see why the frustration would be there. Sliger waits and down goes Dwyer, but she looks okay.
Yeah, Pretorius is bringing a level of physicality to the game, which I think Dwyer is actually struggling with. She usually looks so calm and composed, which I don't think her facial expression's actually changed, to be honest. But she doesn't have anyone to offload the ball to, or she's catching the ball and taking it under real physical pressure, which is draining.
You're absolutely right. And as the game wears on, we won't see the effects of that. Meanwhile, crisp down the front end, as I say that, ball goes out of court. Two and a half minutes left in the half, and the Giants will be needing a couple more from long range if they're going to stay in touch with the home team here and start season 2023 with a win.
For me, if I was April, I'd be over that shot. I mean, fortunately for her, Steph would miss, but another 2 goals to extend the lead out to 12 is really not ideal going into the half-time break.
Price looks up the middle channel, goes short, resets Branley on the transverse line to Dwyer. All the experience of Carla Pretorius there. No room at all for Dwyer coming on the front drive into the super shot area. Beautiful arc, lovely shot from Matisse Leatherbarrow. And we're back to 8. 1 minute and 29 seconds. Centre pass received to the Giants.
Well, when things are not going your way, they're certainly not going your way. A bit of a 50-50 contest there, I think, but unfortunately, Price is on the back end of it and is now potentially going to be on the back end of it telling off from the umpire.
2 and 30 seconds for JLP.
I think often with those as well, it is the timing. I don't think that the contest was necessarily a poor one, but the decision-making in that moment, based on the fact that the umpire has just called you for a contact at the other end of the court, is the real fine line in decision-making that you have to make.
Things not going the way of the Giants at all.
Yes.
In the second quarter. 15 goals, 9, and Julie Fitz will have to calm her charges down during the halftime break. The last chance for the Giants to put some points on the board. Slager, and just that little repose, even dangerous.
A held ball for me is as good as an intercept these days. Excellent defensive pressure and really great example from the whole defensive unit previously of them keeping Giants wide. They were man on man, but also forcing them outside of the contest.
And after that seesawing effort, it has lent in the favour of the Sunshine Coast Lightning. And a lot of that has to be due to that performance from Katie Antahaney, which I think is the best quarter of netball I've seen her play for a while. She has been up and about and enjoying it, and I think we are going to hear from her right now. She is dwarfing Kira Tromp out on court.
That's right, Will. I'm here with Katie. An absolutely unbelievable first half from you. 3 intercepts, 4 deflections, a rebound. Tell me, what was your focus leading into that half?
Rebounds. And just taking the challenge on. I think everyone here backs me to get the job done, so
I'm just doing that at the moment.
Katie, you can really notice on court and from the sideline how happy you look out on court. You're directing your players around. What's the difference been this season for you?
I think the vibe is great. I feel like B sets the tone in terms of culture. So we're definitely embracing each other and just having fun.
Well, let's see. For the second half, you'll be wanting more of the same. What are you expecting to hear from Coach Belinda Reynolds in the halftime break?
Not sinking too far back in the circle, step up to them in the 2-point, and just in general have a go at the ball.
All the best for the second half, Katie.
Katie Andahaney has put it in, picked up 55 Nissan net points and left nothing out there on the court. And let's have a look at the tail of the stats. Too many turnovers for the Giants, 13-7. That one stands out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Vixens finished the game yesterday that they lost by 1 goal and they had 14 turnovers, which is outrageous. So Giants will absolutely be looking for a more clinical performance in that second half. And I think for them it's going to come through the work rate and availability of options to keep the ball.
All right, the halftime show is next. There is plenty more Suncorp Super Netball coming your way. And of course, it is the Battle of the Birds. Straight after this, the Firebirds and the Thunderbirds. Netball all Sunday afternoon right here on Fox. Welcome back to Fox Netball, where the action just keeps on coming, and there's going to need to be some from the Giants if they're going to erase what is a 10-goal deficit after the first half here at Uni SC Arena. They did it in the first quarter, caught up and even stuck their noses in front at 14-13, but a big run in the second quarter from the Lightning, and there is the Diamonds attacking duo of Steph Wood and Cara Conan, who have done some of the damage. At the other end, it is Sophie Dwyer and Matisse Leatherbarrow, and that is because Joe Harton is on the sideline for the first time in 7 years, which is an insane level of consistency. Joe, I bet you're hating it over there, but you've got a good seat to watch the action. How close were you to playing this game?
Yeah, I was very close to playing. Trained 6 weeks post-op back and forth with the team, but didn't quite make it. From an S&C point of view. So, yeah, hopefully round 2 will be my debut in 2023.
Joey, obviously you had an incredible piece out in the media this week about your leadership. How do you bring that to your role, but not specifically on the court?
Oh, I think today I've got to stay really calm. We've got an incredibly young attacking lineup, and I just have to try and give as much confidence and insight to them as possible, but also back them, you know. You've got to back your guys in at any cost, and that's my role today.
What was said during the halftime break? We were asked, or Stacey asked you just off air, what do you want to be asked? And you said, how much are the Giants going to win by? Well, how are they going to go about it in this, especially in this third quarter?
Yeah, I think it starts with belief for us. We have to believe that we're good enough. We have to believe that we can get the ball into our attacking circle. And then I think we just have to lift our intensity of our movement. You know, Jules spoke about really basic things, moving away from the ball to come forward, make our lives easier, and hopefully that will do the trick.
We spoke at the top of the show, Joe, about Jules being in her 25th year of coaching. You guys have been working together for quite a long time as well now, and you've been around a few netball courts. What do you reckon is the consistency? What does she bring? What do you bring to the Giants?
Oh, I think Jules is just amazing at giving young kids a chance, making, you know, normal Australian netballers into diamonds, and, you know, having confidence in the future and in the youth. And I think that's what Giants netball is built on. So it's a privilege to play under Jules and to be coached by her.
Absolutely love that. Thanks so much, Joe.
Thanks, guys.
Joe Hart being very generous with her time, and we spoke about the wing defence to wing attack conversion, and right now Amy Parmenter is another one who's taken that conveyor belt up court. She's in the wing attack bib. Amy Sliger's moved back to wing defence, and there is Parmenter, and we'll see if that change brings any changes in the fortunes of the team in orange. At the moment, it's still the 10 goals as they've level pegged throughout our chat with Joe Harton, and we thank her for taking the time and for remaining calm on the sidelines when I'm sure she's not feeling too calm inside.
I've been on many a team with Joe Harton, and I can vouch that remaining calm is the biggest challenge that she's ever faced as a netballer.
You know what? You're only saying that because you saw her take her headphones off and she can't hear you.
She can catch me in my DMs later.
You heard it, everyone. Stacey's DMs are open.
Oh, dear.
for about 30 seconds, I think. Parmenter and Dwyer, both teams unchanged apart from that positional change. And Dehaney, well, she does what she's doing and gets a tip.
I think we've spoken about the kind of individual brilliance that Katie and Carla are both bringing to the game today, but I think that situation notwithstanding, they've actually had some really good connection moments and ability to switch and read the play. And for me, that doesn't just happen overnight. Often it takes a lot of time, a huge amount of work, but these two are classy defenders and they're bringing individual greatness and building what looks like to be a ferocious partnership.
We spoke a little earlier about the penalty count just racking up for the Giants early doors. Kira, what's the update there? Have they got any more discipline in their play?
Well, no, at this stage, Will, it's a high count to the Giants, 40 penalties currently. But the interesting thing about those penalties, which I wanted to ask Stacey about, was that 32 of them are contact penalties. So only 8 from obstruction. Stacey, in your opinion, what type of defensive strategy would you put in play here for the Giants to get rid of that whistle that's coming?
Yeah, it's difficult because I think obviously the instruction from the coaches is that they want a real man-to-man style, but at the moment the Lightning are just blistering through them in terms of speed, which I think is causing that real late contest for the ball. I think you want to try and fix up on that and prepare early, do your dead ball work on your angles, your footwork, dictate and force a player where they don't want to go so you're not chasing in that race. And then alternatively, just throw the defensive rule book out of the window and look for a bit of off-marking and switching.
Lovely little transition play through Miller to Conan. And the Lightning pick up where they left off. And now a 6-2 third quarter. And I'd be surprised not to see maybe a Lauren Moore come out to change things up. She's on the exercise bike warming up right now. So good to see the former Swift out there.
Yeah, and Lauren had an incredible campaign at Team Girls Cup. They were obviously missing a few players, but she was able to step up and take that opportunity to prove that she is an SSN standard defender. She's versatile. She played out there at goalkeeper, goal defence, wing defence. She's dogged, she's smart, and I would absolutely love to see her out there in the game today.
50 caps last year for Moore. She's quietly gone about her business over the course of a few seasons now. And there's the Nissan net points, and it is dominated by both ends of the Sunshine Coast, with Pretorius and Dehaney at one end and Wood and Conan at the other end. And so what, you're sitting next to the stats man, and I can feel, Kira, that you're just looking at his screen like you're cheating on a test and then bringing us the stats.
Well, you know, netball is a tale of numbers. Sometimes it doesn't come across, but in this case it is. So the Giants have only scored 47% of their centre pass conversion. So they're at 47%. So every time they get a centre pass, they're only scoring 1 out of 2. So that's one area that they can pick up on immediately without any change to their game plan at all. Just about their conversion rate, looking after the ball and getting it to shot. As we see it go there to Leather Barrow underneath, that's where they need to improve. On the other side, Lightning are at 87% conversion rate from centre pass.
So Kira, picking up on that, obviously I think even at rec netball you'd know that 47% isn't an appropriate standard to be hitting. What should teams be aiming for at SSN?
I think it is good to be around anything above 60 to 70, I think is fair. A team that's dominating is going to be in the 80s to 90s. They're almost unstoppable. So I think Julie Fitzgerald, you know, she has stats in front of her as well to the left of me. She'd know this information, and that would be a reason why Amy Parmenter has moved into that wing attack position.
And just picking up on you mentioning Amy, obviously swapping, how difficult do you think it is to switch from wing defence to wing attack and vice versa in a game? Because I know I really struggled even just from goal defence to wing defence.
Absolutely. I mean, one positive for Amy is obviously she's got the strength, speed and the change of direction. But in terms of the timing off the line and her connection with Jamie Lee and Sophie, it goes to what Joe Harton said, that Julie gives her players confidence and she gives them the belief that they can play wherever it is on the court. So Amy's stepped in there seamlessly, and I think it's an area of her game that it gives her versatility.
(41-28), 13 goals halfway through the third quarter now, and the Lightning are coming up with the answers to every question posed to them.
Brilliant take there by Jamie Lee Price, under all sorts of physical pressure from Carla.
Pretorius hasn't missed a beat in the time she has been away from Super Netball, has she?
Unfortunately not for Giants, no.
Cassidy, now Pretorius. Wood lets it go with supreme confidence.
It's a huge season of netball as well for everybody this year, with a World Cup at the end of the season. So not only are you competing for your domestic team, but you're also putting your best foot forward from an international perspective as well. And a home World Cup it would be for the South Africans.
Yeah, that doesn't come around too often, does it? And the Proteas will be very happy to have Pretorius back in their reckoning. Oh, Conan saw that one coming, couldn't quite get there. Branley, Parmenta.
Lightning there setting up what looks like a bit of a box in their back defence, forcing the Giants attackers wide again, which is what they've been warned to try and avoid. And also they're really static on that as well. You can absolutely take ball wide, but not by just standing still.
They do eventually convert.
This one's going to come off the back for the Giants.
Leather Barrow. Change direction of play, find some space in the middle, Dwyer, but she needs help. 40 seconds until the power 5. In the end, good interplay between the two attackers. And we are at 12s. At the moment, big miss in net point scores from Conan, 73, Wood, 70, Katie Ann Dehaney, 77.5. On the other hand, Jamie Lee Price, 63. They've got players who are on 9, minus a half, minus 3.5 for Leather Barrow. Just been dominating across the court. Have the Lightning, 13 goals, timeout, just as there was one called prior to the power 5 in the second quarter. Here is another one thanks to HEF, and we'll listen in once again and see what Julie Fitzgerald has to say about this next 5 minutes.
Out here, just be careful of arms, all right? Make sure your body's nice and relaxed and you're not feeling good, okay? You'll be fine. And when you get ball in hand, nice and steady with it, okay? Don't look for too much. Well, Matisse, you're much more available for the ball. You're doing a really good job down there. Keep it up. Nice and strong onto the ball all the way. Between them and the ball all of the time, right?
Down on their
Don't try and chase it behind you. Between
and then you can have a crash on it.
really close to her, right? Be careful when you look for depth. You know, look down and run, and your eyes are up for the ball, right?
Great job down there, guys. Good job.
We've got 7 minutes to get ourselves into a position now where we can really come back at this. So let's work really, really hard, all right?
We're going to attack the 2-point, and we don't want them to score any 2s in this little bit. Yeah, that's confidence, and we're just going to go for it. Gung ho, here we go. Giants on 3! 1, 2, 3, Giants! Let's go, here we go.
Sunshine Coast Lightning coach Belinda Reynolds asked for her players to continue the discipline. She still wants 3 options to every ball, a short, a medium and a long. So look for that as they come out of transition. Very happy but very, very strong in the word discipline on her bench.
Thank you so much for that, Kira. From the Giants' perspective of things, Coach Harton was pulling the strings for the attackers there, giving them license and confidence to just go for the 2s. She said she wants them to put the shot up, equally not to allow any 2-point shots to be scored against them, and some changes made as well.
A missed shot there from Dwyer, but she gave it all for the rebound, chased it in, couldn't get it in the end. But this is a roll of the dice for the Giants, who are going to be shooting from range throughout the rest of this quarter and trying to eat into that deficit somewhat.
They have to be there by Tui, who has moved out from goalkeeper to goal defence. April's gone in the back.
Yeah, disrupted pre-season for April Branley, and she's had a quiet one today so far. 14. And time really against them now. Yep.
Where you were, guys. Centers. Where you were, in the middle.
Wood has the chance, but doesn't want to go for that two-point shot. No need.
This side.
Oh, lovely outside hand there by April Branley.
And down the court, the Giants come, looking for that white stripe. Parmenta goes back. Would hustle to get back from the Lightning. Now trying to keep control of Dehaney again, and she throws it back in court, and it's Pretorius who shovels it back, but it goes to Parmenta.
Katie read that like it was yesterday's paper. Oh my goodness.
I like that. I'm going to use that.
Oh,
that was good.
help yourself.
Write that down. Watch for that next week. In the end, it was the two-point shot, and here's another one, and it looks good out of the hand, and 2 from 2 for Leatherbarrow quickly. And here we are back at 10. Another Suncorp super shot, and Kira, Jamie Lee's caught your eye?
Yeah, absolutely. Her first game as captain for the Giants, and she's leading on court for her team. Although they may not be winning on the scoreboard, she's at 65 Nissan net points and is putting out there a power of work. She just needs her players around her to step up as we go into a timeout here. Amy Parmenta looked to have hurt that left ankle or right ankle as she's taking her shoe off here on the bench. So I'll keep you updated on that one, Will and Stacey.
Last few minutes, let's really, really lift in this last few minutes, all right?
So 2 minutes of work. Really good. 2 minutes. Push up.
That's not happening. Well, Amy going to win attack, I'm going to
I was confident. Okay, we got it. Here we go. Let's do the work. Really nice, Jamie. Here we go.
all right?
Here we go.
Hungry to run this girl. Really get into this, all
2
right?
minutes of work. Are we ready? Here we go. Let's Giants on 3. 1, 2, 3, Giants!
So Amy Parmenta is making her way to get some treatment. Smile on the face still, but you can see there's already strapping, and it looks like we have Lauren Moore on in wing defence. Amy Slager moved back to wing attack. And how does that look to you, Kira?
Yeah, look, well, from the point of view, Will, of the Giants, they've stemmed the flow. It's 12-all this quarter. So although the scoreboard's still in the Lightning's favour, I think the Giants are definitely stemming that flow, and it's not that they're getting behind by any more, and they're building on something here.
Moore had the wing attack bib on there for a second before she was told to swap it back to the wing defence, so she was ready to jump on the conveyor belt forward as well.
She
Let's
did.
follow,
She said that
the
she was
Lightning.
fully ready to take on that opportunity.
Well, turnover, just as we said, that stemmed the flow. Another turnover. This time it was Wood who came out. Cassidy looks, waits, Sherian, and they're being patient.
It's actually so surprising the amount of time that Lightning have an empty circle. So often when a shooter exits, you usually have a goal attack entering. Lightning don't really subscribe to that. They are completely different. They mix it up. They'll have Cara come out and release pressure for them, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to see Steph driving towards post.
And when she does, sometimes she's all alone down there and she gets that lovely ball in, happened a couple of times, but they're very mobile shooting circle. And they know each other's games very well now, Conan and Wood. Sliger circle edge, still looking for that super shot. The attackers are circling in and out of the paint. And finally they get there through Leatherbarrow, and it's Pretorius who's defending that. Too long, followed it in, and Sliger's fighting for that rebound, cannot get it. And that's gonna hurt them with 1:15 left on the clock. 11 goals In the pocket, Sherian high. Lovely split again from Conan. Textbook from what she did about 30 seconds ago, and the scoreboard keeps ticking over.
You really would have liked to have seen Matisse follow that shot. I think absolutely, like, go with confidence to the 2-point, but see if you can back it up with a rebound as well, especially when there's a height mismatch between her and Carla in the circle.
Just raked that one in, Conan. How does it feel being sitting here on the sideline just passing judgment on everyone else's games? Is it good?
Now I know why everybody else has been doing it all this time.
It's good. We also get lollies.
Yes,
yeah.
There's been a few snakes consumed, and I took great pride in never having the lollies on the bench at Fever, so now I'm catching up.
Let the handbrake off now, haven't you? All right, 20 seconds on the clock. Price. Middle channel, Dwyer, the ball hits the deck, and Pretorius is the one that's there. Wood immediately looks down court again, same spot, Conan, and they go out to 14 again with 8 seconds on the clock. And here's the Harvey Norman replay, the hands up from Pretorius, and then Price couldn't reel it in, Pretorius could, and the Hooter is going to beat everybody, and it is going to be 14 goals at 3/4 time, and the netball, well, it just keeps on coming. We've got a quarter here, the Lightning look to be in control, and then it's the Firebirds up against the Thunderbirds to round out the opening round of Suncorp Super Netball at 3:45 Eastern Daylight Time. That will be huge from Nissan Arena. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the fourth quarter here on Fox Sports.
Welcome back to the 3/4 time break, thanks to Origin Energy, where I find myself down on the Sunshine Coast Lightning bench, leading by 14 goals. Coach Belinda Reynolds has asked her players not to take their foot off the throttle. She's left her starting 7 out there, which I think is a great thing. The combination's building, and I think they've got more to put out on court for this last quarter. Let's go over to Stacey now, who's been listening into the Giants huddle.
Thanks, Kira. For me, the direction was all coming from Coach Jo Harton. She was encouraging the middies to not be too wide in the circle, and she wanted someone on the top, or at least one of them on the 45. The reason why you'd want to do that is it exposes and opens up the angles in the circle for the defenders, making their job a little bit more difficult. If you just swing the ball from side to side, Katie and Carla just get to stand there and they're not challenged enough.
They're going to have to compete in every area. Thanks, guys, for that. And off we go again. Last 15 minutes of this one. Of course, the Firebirds and the Thunderbirds coming up right after this. And the T-Birds, many people's dark horses to really contend at the deep end of 2023. But we are so far from that. So much action to go. And still some to go in this one, too, as Cara Conan picks up where she left off. Goal number 37 from 39 attempts. Steph Wood adding in 11 from 16. And speaking of 16, as the tip comes from Miller out of court, the Lightning, first quarter, 16-13. Second quarter, 16-9. Third quarter, 16-12. Consistency is key in Super Netball, and they're putting up 16 a quarter. The Giants just cannot match that. Parmenter still at wing attack. And another tip from Dehaney.
Another attempted bullet chest pass by Dwyer as well. We've seen a couple of those in the game today where they've tried to just force ball through flat, and that's not going to work. They need to work the angles or at least change the release point of the pass.
The release point needs to be 3 to 4 metres above the ground.
Wow. I didn't say it was an easy task. Just providing some helpful hints from the sideline.
It's hard to find a way past the great wall of Dehaney at the moment. And Conan tries to pick up the rebound, falls out of court, doesn't get it. McDonald streaming back down court now. Parmenter looks forward first, and there is the high ball. Out of court falls McDonald this time. So using every inch of the pine here at UniSC Arena. Oh, again, there she goes, and tips it back in. Foot out, though.
At it again. I cannot get enough of Katie Ann today.
Recording contact centre, right there.
Just inside. the white line, and the Harvey Norman replay, and out of nowhere tries to scoop it in, doesn't quite do it this time, but always threatening.
I think it's a really interesting challenge that Giants are being thrown here, because although their feedback has been consistent throughout the game and Julie's really looking for them to not throw ball cross court, every highlight reel that I can think of in my head of Giants at their best is them throwing ball cross court and being able to just let it go and to swing it. So they're being challenged because they can't play what is natural to them at the moment.
And that's why Jamie Lee Price is the only person in the top 5 Mr. Net Points match leaders. Kira.
Love to see Matisse Leatherbarrow will mix up her game and start coming out of the circle, trying to create something different. At the moment, she's just staying at home, and it's making it easier for KDN, not to put anything aside of how well she's played. But right now, Matisse has put up 21 out of 25, but aside from that, not a goal assist, not a rebound, nothing else outside of the shot. So for me, another level for Matisse's game is to inject herself outside the circle and offer some support.
Kira, do you think that for Matisse that's going to be an area of growth for her in terms of her career in general? She's potentially been able to come through the pathway and be a dominant, tall, more holding shooter? Yeah,
absolutely, Stacey. I mean, she's learning from one of the best goal shooters in the world in Jo Harten. She was able to build her game in that she was coming out and controlling that end of the court. Even if you're a holding shooter, it doesn't mean you can't inject yourself outside the circle, and I think that's probably one area Matisse can learn to improve on.
Absolutely right, and we just missed another excellent attempt by Katie coming out of the circle and having a crack, but equally, if you know that your goal shooter is just going to be standing at the post, you have complete licence just to go out there and hunt.
Correct.
The chant rattles around UniSC Arena as it does, and the crowd that were slightly shocked towards the back end of the first quarter that their lead had evaporated have been in fine voice since then, and why not? They've endured a wooden spoon season in 2022, and it doesn't look anything like that in 2023, and Belinda Reynolds will be heaving a big sigh of relief at this point, although there's still 11 minutes to go.
Sorry, I was going to just say, I've actually really...
So polite.
Apologies.
I'm terribly sorry.
I have really enjoyed this defensive switch-up between Branley and Tilly McDonald swapping positions. I was going to say it's brought a different level of physicality to the contest, which is what we've just seen. April's a smart defender, and she's coming out and she's contesting Cara. She's not necessarily just letting her take that ball and release the pressure for them, and Tilly's doing a fantastic job out in front of her too.
Harvey Norman replay, no answers for the Giants, and just wanting it more. And on the deck goes April Branley and Cara Conan. Circle edge Parmenter looking for a way in, and that's better play between Parmenter to Dwyer to Leatherbarrow.
Yeah, absolutely. Got the defenders' heads turning, gives them something more to think about.
Cassidy starts things off, and Sherry in circle edge, a tip from Branley.
Got a fence contact, pausing. Benny falls. Giants. Great goal, attack, free pass.
Oh dear.
Ooh, that hurts.
Hold time, bring it up here.
This will be a challenging moment for Jo Harten, keeping that cool on the sideline.
I almost don't want to look at her on the other side.
No, I can't not. It's like you have to. You absolutely have to. Oh, she's smiling now, but she wasn't before, trust me.
We got her after the rage had subsided somewhat.
Absolutely that. Is she smiling or is it a grimace?
Back to 14, and there's nothing the Giants can do to put a dent in this. Huge nest and net points haul for the Lightning. Miller, circle edge, Sherian. And we haven't spoken too much about Miller, but she's played the full game and she has been up and about. She showed plenty of energy in terms of aiding that transition down court.
Absolutely right. I was just thinking the exact same thing. Lightning showed excellent court craft there off that centre pass. They had one attacker over the line in Steph Wood. Ali Miller had already prepped and was taking ball driving towards circle at second. They then had a swing, a reposition, changed the angles in the circle. Beautiful goal.
Beautiful analysis.
Oh, stop.
Oh. You're saying what I'm saying, but you're saying it a lot better.
With more words.
With more words.
And an accent.
Yeah, and a better accent. Dear oh dear. Great work from Wood-to-Conan, back and forth again. And it just keeps raining goals for the Lightning. A 40th now for Cara Conan. This is turning into a nice little haul for her to start season 2023. And the biggest lead of this match has come in the, not the dying minutes of the fourth quarter, but very close to it.
That's a much better feed, though, and also hold by Matisse. You can throw in a one-on-one. She's a target shooter, but unfortunately, she hasn't been able to do that consistently today.
Keep working this ball through down here.
41st goal now for Conan from 46 attempts, and she picked up a couple of rebounds on those ones that she missed early on too, so good work from Moore. Price, hard and fast, Dwyer. Oh. Just not getting the rub, the Giants, and they're frustrated, and it shows.
Yeah, it's disappointing to see from the Giants that they haven't been able to pull things together today, despite all of the challenges that they are facing. On the flip side of that coin, you're seeing Lightning, who are looking a little bit at times like they're in a bit of a training drill. It does not look like the first game of the season for them. They are really hitting their straps early.
Another HCF tactical timeout, and Belinda Reynolds is quick up and out of her seat. She wants to finish in this one strong. She talks to her captain straight away, and we'll listen in to what the Lightning have to say about the last 7 minutes of this one.
Absolute grind right here. Direct opponent one-on-one. In the two-point defense, we have to be disciplined. Discipline on the transverse line, discipline in defense. Yes?
And they look on track to win all 4 quarters as we head towards the Power 5, and it should be raining super shots from the Giants at this point, which they basically have been doing in every 5-minute period at the end of each quarter. If you're just new to Super Netball, the last 5 minutes of each quarter, you can shoot the Suncorp Super Shot. There is the hooter. And if you shoot from the white stripe, that means your goal is worth 2 points. And unfortunately for the Giants, they're not worth 5, which is what they would need at this point. Dwyer. High, and that was an absolute gift.
I reckon Taylor listening into the team talks, the opposition team talks, or she's got an ear to the bench here, because that cross-court play that has just been absolutely essential for her today in terms of cracking up those Nissan net points. Beautiful shot there, though, by Dwyer. They have absolutely nothing to lose, so they might as well put them up.
Dehaney didn't even have to hit full pace to intercept that. Obviously, it didn't count. Nevertheless, she has been solid and brings up 100 Nissan net points on her own. Steph Wood's on 100, Cara Conan's on 100, and the Sunshine Coast Lightning 527.5.
How privileged are we to see such quality international netballers week in, week out on Fox?
Well, I get to sit next to one, I get to talk to 2, and watch another 14. Dwyer turns, looks. Parman is the one who has to find a way in. Price has just been doing a power of work, and that's a lovely pass. They need the 2, and they need to look to Dwyer to deliver it again. Not this time. I'd like to apologise for the technical difficulties that we seem to have suffered, but we are back now and charging into the back end of a Sunday afternoon of netball here on Fox. Firebirds and Thunderbirds next. Still 3 minutes to go in this one, and the Lightning, since you've been away, have been continuing on their merry way to a big win here at UniSC Arena.
Beautiful footwork there by Branley to come around and off the body to stop that little ball going in and inhibiting Steph from putting up a 2-point shot in the white paint.
1-2 circle edge for Price. Baseline shot. Leather Barrow does it. So a nice little bounty for the Suncorp Super Shots for the Confident Girls Foundation. $100 from Suncorp going to the Confident Girls Foundation each time there is a Super Shot. There's been plenty across the opening round. We've got a game to go. Forward third, working circle edge. Sherian in the pocket. And it's Wood. Does she shoot from there? I think she does. And Conan had the forward position. Ball went high. Branley did enough to disrupt, and the ball goes down, and Price dives on it. Not good enough, though. A wry smile. It has not been Jamie Lee Price's day.
Stand out of play and release the ball straight away. Out of play, contact.
And now a further call to out of play for Jamie Lee Price.
Yeah, it's frustrating in these moments as the losing team. You feel like, you know, nothing's going your way. You're not getting the 50-50 umpire calls. You're probably not executing your game plan, and it is really hard to keep that positive vibe and that attitude and to stay connected when you're out there on court.
Oh, what's going through Joe Harton's head? You can ask her, not me.
I'm sure she is proud of what the girls have put out there today. They've been very receptive to feedback. They keep attacking the post, putting up those shots confidently, regardless of the result. And you know, ultimately, they've not had the players that they've wanted to be in their appropriate positions. And so next week is a brand new week, and they have a whole week of training to figure it out and to come back and be stronger.
Goal number 49 for Cara Conan. She should be able to bring up the even 50. I think they've got the centre pass. They do. So equally, the Lightning, obviously a good effort. This will be goal 50 for Conan if she doesn't miss it, but she doesn't. Is this effort from Sunshine Coast, where does this put them in terms of the wider competition? Do you think putting out a performance like this against the Vixens would see them take a win?
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to make people stop and have a look. Last year they were there were no easy beats at SSM, but they were sitting at the bottom of the table and they weren't in contention to final. Whereas now they've started the season with a completely different intent and also showing their brand, their quality of netball that they're able to play, and this is just game one. You would absolutely ambitious attempt, but Jamie Lee Price was on the run there, had to let the ball go. You would absolutely back them putting in a solid performance against the Vixens.
Turns Conan for 51, and just like every step of the way in this one, it falls the Lightning's way. And in the end, it's 15 goals, and it's time for Belinda Reynolds to breathe out because she has taken a big, big win over the finalists, the Giants from last year, in her first game in charge. Congratulations to her. And of course to Jenny Brazel as well, who's the brand new assistant coach, also in that lemon yellow jacket over there on the sideline. But, well, a victorious start for Carla Pretorius. A victorious start, even though we didn't see game time for Ash Irvin and Charlie Bell, who were the tall timber there. You can see on your screen the subs bench didn't get used, but they didn't need to get used because the Lightning were too strong in just about every facet. We'll head down now to Kira Tromp, who has Katie Handahaney once again, 106.5 Nissan net points.
Thanks, Will. I'm here on court with Katie Dehaney. An unbelievable match from your team today. You personally, a fantastic effort. You kept your shooter quiet during the match and were able to get your team over the line by 15 goals. Tell us what you loved about the game tonight.
I thought looking at everybody on court, I thought that we enjoyed the game and everyone's having a laugh at me at the moment, but I just love everyone at the moment, yeah.
There's a lot of love in the stadium here tonight. This is the first time that the Lightning have played their round one game at home. What was the preparation like for the team this week, knowing that you were coming home to Uni SC Stadium to play here tonight for your first game?
It was good, and coming here to the Lightning, I didn't know that it was the first home game for over 7 years, so we definitely wanted to put on a performance for the home crowd, and I think we did that today. Also, big shout out to B. I think she put in the hard work for us to put out this performance today.
It was absolutely a whole team effort from the Sunshine Coast Lightning today. Obviously, Steph Woods and Cara Conan shot beautifully. They were up there in the points in the Nissan Net points. And Belinda Reynolds' first game as the Lightning coach. Looking ahead, next week you've got the Battle of the Birds, Battle of the Bruce down in the Firebirds home court. What will be the focus this week at training to prepare for the Firebirds next week?
Turning our hips, get the ball through court, good baseline throw-ins from myself, and accurate shooting from our shooters as well. So I think that's the focus.
Lots to work on, but I know Belinda and Jenny will have you guys firing for next weekend. All the best and well done today, Katie. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
A team favourite and a fan favourite. Why not? Katie Andahaney sounds like she has those things drilled into her every day training.
I was about to say there's some consistent messaging coming from Belinda there, which is incredibly important.
Absolutely right. 16 goals in every quarter for the Lightning, except for the fourth quarter where they picked up 17 to the Giants 16. So a win in all 4 quarters and a complete performance with a brand new and fresh team, which will really boost their chances heading down to, well, heading up or down? Heading up the Bruce? I don't know, you're from Brisbane.
Down, surely.
Down. Sorry, yes, heading down to Brisbane to take on the Firebirds, who will be next up against the Thunderbirds in this one.
First maths, then geography.